Legends never die. When the world is calling you, can you hear them screaming out your name? Legends never die. They become a part of you. Every time you play for reaching greatness, relentless, you survive. They never lose hope when everything's cold and the fighting's near. It's deep in their bones, they'll ride into smoke when the fire is fierce. No, pick yourself up, 'cause legends never die. When the world
excited to start this season as my first time, and I think our team actually has a very good chance. At first, I wasn't very sure because there's some teams that are doing it for their second or third time.
This season, we plan to reverse that score and show everyone what we can actually do. Don't worry. Last season, we made it seem like we were weak. Really, we're all diamond at the top, baby.
Definitely. I think we have a much better chance this season. We'll be surprising a lot of people this year. Viewers that might have saw us last year, they might not know that we're totally different this year. Anything less than top 2 is probably a disappointment.
Was kind of disappointed with how poorly we did in playoffs. We got Dilly now, and Dilly's been killing on ADC. We have the makings of a championship roster. I mean, after winning the 1v1 tournament, my next thing on my list is KDL itself.
Oh my god, he's got the very good cataclysm now, but he's a flash. Remember, he's here with the KDL.
Put it straight and say we were not 5th or 6th, last place, dead last. So getting 4th was good. I think this season we can definitely go for the win because we played better in the early beginning than in the end. Kind of like got in our own heads and did bad.
Darius, he gets the first dunk on. This Ori, the Q will keep him alive a bit longer. The counter stacks are pounding deep. He slam dunks on top of the Shen. Now it's just a couple rounds. We'll do it. That's a triple kill for the Darius.
I feel very good. I'm very excited actually. Teams are really good this season. The last 2 seasons I feel like we didn't really try that hard and we still won. I feel like that's why we lost last season. The teams were really good and we didn't really put much work in. So I really like playing against Rave. I don't know why. I just love shitting on Rave's team.
Oh my god!
We all had like really good synergy, but we've been playing a lot with Henry, so I don't think we're gonna have any problems. Honestly, I think we're solid. Yeah, actually, I think we carry Terra.
All I want is certain. All I want is certain. All I want is certain.
Cold Build is the one team that I genuinely want to succeed other than my own. We've got the good players off the Itsy Bitsy Spider roster. We took Tarum. So now it's just like how do we lose, man? After those scrims, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of feel bad for him. Nice guys, but I kind of feel bad for him. And then Rave's team is full. It's just Poseidon. You've got ABD, bro. Like, lol.
站在家里飞你放你放你看着窗外光景 I don't see your face 我想法赶你你们 running running 看不到我被隐瞒的都被累即便我为了配合你的规则不再把为我印象给的开始配当我们大把开了配给出我想做的样 Look at my eyes baby
We will win KDL.
We will win KDL.
We will win KDL.
We will win KDL.
We will win the KDL.
We will win the KDL.
We will win KDL.
We will win KDL.
Now, who will win KDL? That is the biggest question on everyone's mind. My name is Crimson, and I am so excited to be introducing Season 4 of the KDL today. I am joined with not only one of the best casters that we have, but an ex-KDL player himself. You might have seen him in that montage there. I am joined by Worry. Welcome, Worry, who is going to be our head caster of the season. But Season 4 looking really hyped, and we're just waiting on these teams to start, and we're going to jump right into it. Worry, how's it going?
Crim, thank you so much, my boy, for that beautiful intro. I am so glad to be back. Oh, it has been a cold winter without the KDL, but it looks like we are finally getting things rolling. And yeah, I'm just excited to see what's going to happen in this game tonight.
You know, when KDL is done, it's really a bleak season, you know, and thankfully now we do have the KDL to hold us into 2021, and we're going to start off with a banger of a game. We have Season 2 champions Never Lose as they look to kind of get back what once was. You know, when we were listening to that montage there, we listened to Bidoof there, and he makes that recollection of, you know, we once stomped everyone, and then we kind of dropped the ball Season 3. So I don't expect anything but Never Lose's best coming in today's match, or even extending that into the further season. Whereas, you know, we have Insert Teamname here who are looking like they really want to disrupt the status quo and hopefully open the season off with a W.
Insert Teamname is going to be very nice to look at here. You know, like you said, absolutely. We're going to be taking a closer look at Never Lose again, coming back. Hadn't really tried last season, maybe dropped the ball a little bit, but they are not looking to do the same this time around. And absolutely, I'm very much excited to see how the new clashes with the old, if there can be a little bit of a disruption there. But we should probably get into the game here as well, as we're just talking over these picks and bans real quick. I do want to note that, of course, we've banned 2 ADCs here on blue side, and we do actually get rid of some strong picks on red side as well, as we're just grabbing these first 3 picks. We already locked Ornn and Maokai, so it looks like that could be both top laners here, as we're also grabbing Nocturne for the blue side, and we're picking our ADC Sivir on the red side here as we round out our last 2 picks of the first phase.
Now, the biggest thing coming into this match was going to be just that Never Lose have so many options for them if they do want to take over this game. You know, you either can play through the mid, or as we have kind of seen in their scrims, they have been playing through the bot lane. So I fully expect them to kind of have some kind of pseudo style here as the Graves does finish off our first phase of the picker ban phase, but I really think that they're going to put an emphasis in this bot lane just because Code has been practicing immensely with Jinsoul, and they've been really stomping majority of their scrims through the bot lane. And I know there are some naysayers in chat who may say, you know what, Never Lose used to be good. They're no longer good. But, you know, I really think that that's kind of unfair to say, because I think that Never Lose is a team that still has a lot that they still have not shown us.
Absolutely, and as we round out our bans here, we see that Never Lose is really looking to, as you mentioned there, strengthen out their bot lane as much as they possibly can. We see that mid and support are still both open for both teams. We did go sort of pick for pick on that one as Never Lose grabs Orianna here, but it looks like Never Lose really wants to emphasize their bot. They're going with something safe with Orianna. They're not too afraid of the counter pick here, and they're gonna be forced to they're sort of forcing Insert Teamname here to come up with what they are going to do with that MF in terms of support, so that Jinsoul there gets to grab that counter pick.
I just want to shout out, by the way, thank you so much, Tokoro, for the 5 gifted subs. As you know, it's stated there on, in the description rather, all the donations, all the subs go back into the prize pool. In previous seasons, we really haven't had that much to distribute, so we've kind of just said, you know what, unless players want 40 cents or 20 cents, we don't know how we're going to do it unless we want to pay the $5 conversion fee. But thank you so much, Tokoro. Already that is going to be, you know, putting up that prize pool to about like $32, I want to say, each, or about maybe even higher. But these are going to be your final picks or bans here for the first game of the KDL season. Man, I am so excited. I'm not really sure why, but I'm more nervous than I have been in previous seasons. Maybe it's because the stakes are higher, or maybe even the teams are better, but you know, we're gonna have to watch this game out, and we're gonna have to see if either of those statements are true.
Well, we're just picking up our own game. I'm feeling that as well. I mean, we are just coming off, you know, starting strong here on season 4. And just getting the ball rolling as quickly as possible. I do want to note, actually, they may have fooled me here. Never Lose actually going with the Maokai support. So we're looking at a Maokai Sivir bot lane here on Never Lose's side, and Insert Teamname is going to go with the MF Swain. So definitely the sort of new age support picks here, going with Maokai and Swain. Not anything too classically played, and definitely was confusing for me. I saw the Pantheon lock there and the Swain lock, and it really could have been either way. It could have been the Swain mid, but it looks like they're going for the Pantheon mid. Just really interesting comps that we're witnessing here right now.
Right, and as we kind of look at these comps, I really think that Neverlose definitely have the edge in terms of pickability, right? You do have the Pantheon and you do have the Swain if you want to turn or re-engage a fight, but at the same time, you know, unless you really have that Ornn initiating with the Call of the Forge God, there really is not much in terms of AoE picks. You know, you have the one-off on that Pantheon W, but aside from that, Nocturne's never going to be in a position to freely get that Orianna on a Fear, or even moving forward into the Swain E. It just requires so much setup that it's going to be very, very difficult for them, especially if they want to get off these kind of risky playstyles on the side of Insert Teamname here. I do want to note, though, as, you know, we're looking at this Neverlose comp, I know chat was saying, you know, when does Tickle play Aatrox? Tickle plays anything. Honestly, he's been smurfing it up on almost every single champion. Last season, we saw so many different picks. I know that he's been playing... actually, I don't know if I want to comment just in case they do want to bring it out later in the games down along the road. But, you know, I would not be surprised to see anything in that top lane. Let me just throw that out there. You know, that guy is not unfamiliar with picking off these off-meta champions or even playing these out-of-meta champions in the top lane like the Aatrox pick.
Yeah, certainly, certainly interesting what we'll see happen there. I think the Ornn is maybe a safer pick going into the long haul. You know, as we're looking at champs like Aatrox and their viability in terms of carrying the game in the long term, he's really going to have to pull his weight and make sure that he can actually be a force to be reckoned with. As this team goes into the mid and late game, and I think you're looking at certainly stronger. You're looking at two teamfight teams here for sure. You've got the Ornn for the lockdown there, the Swain absolute force to be reckoned with as he's in the middle of the team with his ult going. MF as well, pretty much just an ult bot there into the late game. But you know, on Neverlose side as well, you know, you've got the Graves to sort of counteract Nocturne. Graves might be a little bit safer here than Nocturne. You've got Orianna, you know, default control mage, don't know what to do, pick Orianna, and Sivir as well, who had a little bit of a rough patch at the start of the season, but ADCs are in a little bit of a better spot. And of course, the absolute control, you know, tank himself, Maokai. I wonder if this Maokai will see, if we'll see mandate from him or something different, something a little tankier, maybe something in response to what's going on. But we're usually expecting, you know, a Comet E Max Maokai to just mess with the bot lane there. I do think Neverlose has a little bit of a safer comp. I think Nocturne is a little riskier than Graves, and I think Orianna is much safer of a pick. Again, Pantheon is very strong, but Pantheon's one of those characters where, you know, you're looking at an Aatrox situation. You're going to have to get ahead to be ahead, and you know, an ahead Pantheon is absolutely terrifying, just like an ahead Aatrox is absolutely terrifying. But behind, you know, either of those champs, you're not going to be looking at anything too dangerous.
And we're actually sorry to jump in here, but we're actually looking at a Conqueror Pantheon as well. You guys can't see it yet as we are just waiting on the game to load in. But we are looking at that Conqueror Pantheon, so it does kind of indicate that you want that Pantheon for prolonged fights. You're not really looking for him in utility-based. So if you were going utility, you would have went Aftershock. But to this end, you were looking for the sustained fight. You were looking for just that, how did he kill me? You know, I was about 25% HP. How on earth did that happen? Type of deal here. And we kind of do see Neverlose, by the way. I just noticed, I don't know if you see this, Worry, but last season we saw Neverlose go the skin lineup, and everyone was saying, you know what, FPX, it's okay, you know, those skins just dropped. But I don't know if you guys realize what they are doing here. I'm gonna leave it to chat just for a little second here as we finally do load into the game here. But this is looking very, very spicy from the side of Neverlose. They have run the all victorious comp. You know, you got the victorious Aatrox, correct me if I'm wrong, the S10, then you got the S9 Graves, the S8 Orianna, I believe it's S5 on the Sivir, and then S6 on that, Maokai, sorry.
Just starting it out strong here as well, trying to match the energy for sure. Definitely appreciated. We'll see how far this gets them, the full victorious comp.
For whatever reason, chat is on, so we just need to remove that. Thank you so much, Tanner, for being truly the third producer on this cast today. Man,
Always
I'm
helping
just
us out.
so hyped. Yeah, honestly, helping hand.
What a kind guy. Shout out to Tanner. Oh, and we're getting the game paused real quick.
Already.
Looks like we're having some difficulties in game, so we'll just get that settled.
Twitch chat. It takes
looks
a
like
little
we're-
bit of time to switch over. Come on, guys, cut me some slack.
Yeah, we're just bullying Crim right out the gate. That's totally
honestly,
fine
I'm
with me.
looking at Twitch
Stay
chat
away
right
from
now.
my
Come
comms.
on, guys. Come on.
Just
First game is always
shove all
scuffed.
your
First game is
shove all your
scuffed.
hate to Crim. Lay it off
Don't
of me.
refund the
I'm good.
primes. Don't refund the primes. That's all I'm saying, guys. Don't refund.
Yes.
guys go.
All of your donations go back to a better production. Just keep that in
Right,
mind.
100%.
Yeah. So, as we're seeing here, getting the game started now. Just had to get that settled real quick. I do want to know, actually, as we're just both sides sort of 5-pointing here initially. I'm noting that the aftershock is seen on Maokai as well.
Right.
So going less for poke, as I mentioned, we're going more into a sort of maybe in a tankier direction for this Maokai. I'm wondering what mythic he's going to go though. We do actually have phase rush on both Orianna and Graves, which is interesting. A little bit more of aggressive Graves there, and yeah, really
Wait.
conk for conk.
Is Tickle
what's up?
trolling? Did he not buy items?
Oh, it does
Is
look like
that
we
a-
have
is
an
that a
itemless
spectator
Aatrox.
bug, or?
I am not seeing anything on my end, no.
Okay, well, that is something. Tickle starting off the game, and he's really confident with himself. He's saying, you know what, I don't need items.
Yeah, just showing him who's boss, who's what's what. Just going itemless. We do get the recall on him though. He's TPing back to lane now.
Apparently, Kaze is not able to get into the VC, so we are just trying to quickly get that going. I wonder if that was some kind of proclamation, like, hey, you know what? If Kaze is not in our team VC, we're just not gonna play top lane correctly or something. It happens.
Probably, yeah. Sounds about right.
First game jitters. Apologies to Team Never Lose. Sorry about that. Thank you so much, by the way, for Bidoof mentioning that. Otherwise, I would not have noticed. But, just coming into the game so far, we have seen a lot... Oh, not unhealthy looking W at all from the Pantheon. The Ignite is ticking down upon him, though. Nice little flash out to avoid that QW splash damage. But I was just about to say, nice game so far that we have. Pretty even, but just as I was about to say that, apologies, Orianna just fully goes in. She's like, you know what? You're defenseless. You already had wasted that W on a minion prior. There's no reason for me to play back at all.
Yeah, and this is exactly what you're going to be looking for here with that sort of matchup. Is Orianna, obviously you have the range. Pantheon's really only able to, as you mentioned there in loading screen, wait, why am I dead sort of potential,
Right.
which Pantheon isn't going to have a whole lot of. Hopefully, if we're rooting for Pantheon in this case, we're going to hopefully see that he'll be going in on W and sort of at least half healthing. We're getting the game pausing here again. And
I can only
we'd seen
imagine
earlier.
that is where the disconnect came from. I'm gonna assume that Kaze
Right.
is having internet issues here. We will monitor the situation. For now, just to remain and keep up our match integrity, we will be switching off at the screen until the pause is done, because we don't want to give away any positions. We don't want to give away any info. But coming into this game, I think everyone is really excited for this matchup. On paper, you're like, wait a minute, Never Lose versus a new team? What on earth is going to happen here? But, we have seen stranger things. We have seen the Miracle Run worry that you were actually a part of for a little bit. Stardust Crusaders back in Season 2, disrupting that top pick, disrupting the people's champion, so to speak. I think anything can happen, right? And that's the biggest takeaway when you come into these KDL games. Realistically, anyone can win here. It does look like Code actually has left as well. I'm not quite sure what the issue is on that end. Again, we will be monitoring the situation. It's not a KDL stream unless we have 4 disconnects. Crim has his lower wrong, my bad. Oh, was it? It was Fun Plus Ultra or something, right?
Yeah, from us chord, X twice chord. Good old Season 1.
Right. Oh, geez, Season 1.
I probably subbed or something for Stardust Crusaders.
At least you're brutally honest.
Season 1. My
You know,
glory days.
as we do have this pause here, I just want to quickly shout out to Davier. Thank you so much for all the overlays and all the work that you have been doing with me behind the scenes. None of this would be possible. None of these beautiful overlays would have been possible. Remember season 1, remember season 2. Look at the drastic difference up till now, right? We are getting better and better with the overlays. I wish I could say production, but I saw Twitch chat flame me earlier. So I mean, I can't, I just realistically can't. Like, I don't know. There has to be a bad guy, and I guess it's me. But
it is what it is.
It is what it is, honestly. But like these overlays, these screens, they're only going to get better and better from here. And we're really excited, all the KDL staff. We're really excited to have you guys join us for the season. And we're really excited for you guys to just look at the content, look at everything that we have planned out for you guys.
Can I just shout out as well, real quick? Our 67 viewers, not bad.
67 viewers
for game 1.
Yeah, that is our KDL season high. I believe that is our season high. I think our second highest was about 50 something, as we do kind of see that Nocturne going in for the engage to W from that Pantheon. Nice little quick flash out will guarantee Orianna does live with her life there. Nice little trade there in the mid lane. You know, Pantheon did not have that flash to go all forward there, so they kind of had to look for what they were given, and luckily Nocturne is able to find that little flank there on the opposite end of that warded brush.
Right, Pantheon having his flash down there really hurt him in the long run, as they weren't able to lock in that quick first blood. As we see, we still haven't actually had a first blood, which is tends to be a KDL tradition. We can go several minutes without the first blood, but that could have been it there. But of course, as we saw, Pantheon had to flash away for his own life to not be first blooded earlier in the game.
Chad, I meant season high as in of all our seasons, not just season 4.
Yes, this first stream, season high, baby. We made it. We made it.
Poggers, we did it. We're seeing a little bit of a trade here. Tickle really needs to be careful here.
Ooh.
Ornn does have the flash.
Oh.
There's another disconnect.
We got the DC again.
Never lose, never can connect, I guess. I don't know what's happening.
Never lose, never play. Can't lose if you don't play.
Never play. Another one we are going to be transitioning over to our
easy peasy
screens. But Tickle really needs to be careful. We're looking at this kind of pause skirmish here, though. Aatrox does have flash, so does the Ornn, but one stack of Brittle and a flash will almost guarantee his death. They're DDoSing my boy Kaze.
Yeah, I guess they must be.
And it's actually interesting to note, in terms of Team Never Lose, we actually have seen several name changes as well. You know, in prior seasons, we didn't have Kaze 0. I believe we had, what was it? Jewy's Ankles or something like that?
Oh god, don't even ask me. Some of these names, like,
original name was like Mina Minari or something.
Good old twice usernames.
Something else.
Yeah, no, I who knows? Honestly, my name has changed about 4 times in the past year. Too? So
yeah, but we can't really mention your name on stream, right? Like, unless you want to get another name change.
It depends on whether. Well, no, it's fine right now. Riot actually recently banned some more terms, so that's why I had the name change. But anyways, we're back in now. Getting back into this top fight.
Oh no, he hesitates.
Ornn.
Oh, it was right there in front of him. And he said, you know what? The reward does not outweigh that risk, and he just does not want to commit to it.
Yeah, interesting that he didn't decide on that earlier as Ornn was running away there, or excuse me, as Aatrox was running out. Yeah, just decided not to try anything too fishy there.
Oh, too fishy. Fishy 1?
Fishy 2, actually.
Oh, okay. Is that the fishy that actually won KDL? I keep being told that apparently Fishy won KDL, and then I'm looking at the rosters and I'm like, did he?
Yeah, I'm just trying to find this this Fishy 1 in here somewhere. Fishy won the KDL of our hearts.
Right. I just want to note here for that Maokai, you know, we were talking about the Imperial Mandate meta, which we had previously seen at the start of Season 11, and a little bit into the preseason as well here. It does look like he has 1 point into that queue, and he is not going to be going for any type of E-poke rush. So what I'm thinking right now is that we're probably going to be looking at a primarily pick Maokai in terms of just having that chem tank popping in. I don't think that there's a lot of merit here in terms of going Locket at all. I don't think that as Maokai, especially since you are initiating at such a high distance away from your MF, I don't think that you're ever going to be in a position to Locket her or just even the rest of your teammates, especially if you are, you know, that primary engager on Never Lose. I really see a lot of merit here in popping that chem tank later on as the game goes. Or sorry, apologies, not MF, Sivir. But I see a lot of merit in popping that chem tank, just Wing on top of the MF, disrupting the bullet time, and just allowing yourself to just get that 80 carry in a stable position for that Orianna just to blow her up.
I think I agree with you on that. Especially, you know, if you have the Locket you've got, maybe you're in there with Aatrox and maybe Graves. Of course, you've got Control Mage, Orianna in the back as well as Sivir. You're really not going to be doing too much with them, and as long as you're doing your job, the Locket isn't really necessary in the first place. So I definitely think you're going to see more of that.
Nice.
Interesting top skirmish there as well.
Nice use of the E to avoid that third Q.
Still waiting on first blood here at 7 minutes in the game. I do want to note Ori picked up a quick little Dark Seal a few minutes ago. A little confident in her future here, but we do have, you know, Dark Seal's a decent, and we're getting the game pause again. Dark Seal a decent early item to grab there as well, even just to sell later. But
at this
the
point,
game
I'm
has been
internally
paused.
questioning even switching to another screen. I'm like, why not? Why not just look at the game? I believe that our pauses have been longer than the actual game right now.
Possible.
Now
Very possible.
Now it's the top laner of team Insert Teamname. What an interesting name as well. When we were coming up with their name as their abbreviation, obviously, they were really, really persistent on keeping those brackets. I was like, can I take out those brackets? You know, it kind of looks weird. And they're like, no, you know what? We want those brackets. Keep the brackets. So, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, hey, why not? It's
not Kaze
makes
Cheddar.
sense.
For once, it's not Kaze. Oh, there we go. We do have an unpause here.
Get the hotspot going.
Yeah, someone finally opened up their hotspot. They're like,
rev up those fryers. Let's get going.
I'm willing to pay the fee. Just go. A little bit of a top skirmish here. Brittle will go down on top of the Aatrox. Third Q has already been used as well. Call it the Forge God is going to be casted here for that Ornn. It will barely hit that Aatrox. No re-engage yet from that Ornn. Aatrox is in his ultimate form. Nocturne does initiate here. They're looking for the kill here. One more tick will do it. Nocturne going to be autoing a couple minions, but finally first blood does go down, and it goes down for Team INS, but there's another skirmish here in the mid lane. Remember, Orianna does have that shockwave if necessary. Pantheon trying to re-engage in the flash. Ignite. Who's going to get it? It's Bidoof with that turnaround. No, you did not. Bidoof did not come here today to lose. Holy smokes, Nocturne looking to re-engage on top of the Orianna, but the Graves on his heels says, no way, Jose. Holy smokes, actually he does enter after all. This might actually be dangerous for him.
What an amazing
God,
situation
the
there, and we're getting
there,
more.
Right into the ultimate. Sorry to interrupt you there. The Swain W will not connect. The flash away from the Swain, I don't think it was needed, but just as a precaution, he does use it. Holy smokes. What an intense 1 minute period. They're like, you know what? We're legging up so many times, we might as well just play this.
Yeah, they're finally tuning into the casting here, and they're saying, all right, we'll get your first blood. Fine, one first blood coming up. The top lane skirmish there, Ornn not coming up with quite enough. We're actually getting the Pantheon. I won't talk. Go ahead.
Yeah, the Pantheon will come down in the bot lane. It does look like they will get that Sivir for free. Scumbag Pantheon does get that empowered Q and denies the kill from the MF, but that is a clean 2-0 for Team Insert Name here. Worry, I was saying it earlier. You never know what to expect on these teams, and it looks like Insert Team Name here is coming out at the gate swinging.
You just never know at all, with Never Lose barely coming out ahead on that mid lane play there, which was, you know, very nice to end. We're getting another disconnect, so we can breathe for a second.
Exactly.
The game with a little
we
bit
had
of
all that excitement, and then the teams were like, wait a minute, pause. There's too much going on. There's too much going on in the last 2 minutes. But what an insane start here. Stu keeps spamming never connect in chat. But holy
never
smokes.
Connect.
You know, I think who said it right in Twitch chat. He said, like, everyone decided to go in at the exact same second.
Literally at the exact same second. They were trying to get that coordinated teammates across the map. But my God, let's take it one step at a time here. You've got the Ornn going in here on Aatrox on top. Aatrox barely able to survive, popping that ult, and Ornn was just enough, Aatrox there ulted was just enough of a force to keep Ornn from following up at all. But the quick engage back in from Nocturne, was able to grab that kill. Meanwhile, in mid, you had the Orianna kill barely not coming up. Pantheon thinking he can go back in and barely not making it. As Krim, you mentioned during that cast that you had the shockwave there still in the back pocket, and it came in so clutch down to the very last second there. And then, of course, the Pantheon ult down to bot to clean up some kills there. We're getting another never connect. But wow, what a start. I think they're just gonna. Oh, we're seeing another kill here for Ori, and then there's the pause.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we should get some ads in these pause breaks.
Honestly, if you are interested in sponsoring, just hit up that business email. I just want to throw that out there, but I just also want to make mention here. It does look like Pantheon is actually like one auto attack away from death.
We have to assume that this kill happens.
Yeah, there's no way that this doesn't happen, right? There is no flash on Pantheon. There is a flash up for Orianna. So even if the E does come out, we might still see that flash out or even a flash Q. But going to look at, the channel points here, it's looking very dire for Twitch chat. I think before we started like the actual cast here, it was 97% were in favor of Never Lose and 3% the hopefuls were in favor of the underdogs team insert
the
name.
hopefuls.
The hopefuls, honestly, there's no other way to explain it. And if there is a 3% chance that you win this game, you had to take it. And for team insert team name here so far, Team INS, it's looking like they're going to be taking any chance that they can get, and they're definitely looking to swing right out at the gates. You know, it's 10 minutes in, so it's way too early to call already. There is no getting around it. You know, like, it does seem like there is a substantial early lead, and now it's just a means of how will you deal with Never Lose's impenetrable mid game, as the pause actually does come out of nowhere.
There it is.
There was no ready call, but they just immediately unpause into the Pantheon's death there. You guys didn't miss much.
They did get the. I think they did get the ready call.
Oh, they did? Okay, apologies then. We do see the Nocturne going in with his ultimate. A little bit out of range for that E. Orianna's looking to turn this around, but red team rather, Never Lose, have secured themselves that early Mountain Dragon, so we will be seeing the 5% resistances around the board here. Swain really needs to be careful. Holy smokes, how brittle is that Swain, though? A Hextech flash right into the wall, Chinsel. Oh my god, why would you tease us? MF saying, what's going on over there? Let me just die here.
Oh no.
Maokai ultimate has been used as well. Will the Maokai ultimate tag upon that Swain? The answer is no. They only get one kill in the bot lane here, but it does look like there is a little bit of a skirmish topside here. Call it the Forge God is available for the Ornn, but there's a huge wave, and I don't think that he really wants to sack that wave in order to just poke this Aatrox a little bit. But what do I know? The cast does come out here with that Call it the Forge God. Nocturne has made his way topside as well. There's a huge knockup potential here. Now we do see the Pantheon roaming topside as well. Tickle has already blown flash, so he's almost as certain as dead here. The Q will tag upon him. It's Pantheon, it's Nocturne, but it unfortunately is that Ornn who gets the kill. I think that kill would have rather be on the Pantheon or even that Nocturne, truth be told, but you know, a kill is a kill.
Absolutely. Definitely an interesting play in bot. For sure. We've got chat saying that the Hex Flash there was calculated. I think it might have been, because you had MF just absolutely caught out there in the end, just trying to like get a better look, crane her neck over the tri-bush, see what was going on over there. But didn't quite work out for her in the end, as that is going to be that mandatory reset. And by the way, let's just... Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay. I will go ahead then.
I watched the video. Sorry, go ahead.
You got it. So I do want to actually just take a look at the CS gap here. You've got the 1k gold lead in the favor of Never Lose, though they are 1 kill down. They've got the first drag, and they got it pretty handily. You saw Nocturne there try to trade a mid kill for that first drag, and it didn't quite work out for him, as the fear just barely didn't go off on Orianna there. And the CS gap is very noticeable. You've got a whole 50 there, over 50, 60 in the mid lane in the favor of Ori. Ori's got 112 CS here, nearly perfect CS right now, as well as Sivir not far behind at 111. Just really doing quite a fantastic job keeping the CS up, despite that the kills have not been going in their favor early on.
Well, it does look like we do have that Orianna roam down. Bot Shockwave will be used, as will the Gale Force from that Sivir, but it is the Orianna who will take it. The bullet time is not enough to dismay the team from killing your support. Wow. And already this bot tower is sitting on 2 plates. It's looking very, very weak here. So we might actually see that push from Kaze to go and secure that early herald into first tower here, so that we can definitely see those, you know, support rooms definitely in the mid lane against the Pantheon, who seems kind of unstoppable when it comes to top side, but not so much in his own lane.
Absolutely. You know, you've seen the Pantheon going as far as he can there with the CS gap very much not in his favor, trying his best to spread any sort of pressure as best he can. As we see right now, the flash away.
Yeah, we will be seeing that flash away from the Sivir. Nocturne is here with ultimate to join the party. They will get the tag upon that Sivir. This surely is going to be a double kill here. They might actually want to give this to the MF, but I think that, yeah, Nocturne will unfortunately just have to tag him, as he might have just run out of the range of that MF. But Graves is here on the bot side, so they definitely could answer this wave from shoving in fully. There's a little bit of a skirmish here. Call to Forge God has been used top side. It will not hit that, the Aatrox as he doses. Wait, Ornn is getting his ankles broken here. The Brittle finally getting knocked on top of that Aatrox. Tickle looking for a little bit more. Can he get it?
Tickle playing with his food a little too much there.
Right.
Does handily dodge the call of the mountain there, but or whatever the hell that's called, but does handily dodge that. Isn't able to clean up the kill there. Tries his very best at 0-2-0 currently, but wow, yeah, not quite the cleanup that they were looking for. I do have to hand it to Never Lose. They are playing quite well despite the constant pick gap going in the favor of Insert Name here. You know, they're definitely a little bit ahead in some areas, but I think in terms of, you know, in the long term, although Aatrox is not doing too hot right now, I think Never Lose is still in a fine spot as we come into the mid game, as well as the second drag coming up here, which is going to be the Wind Drag.
Man, that is really cheeky from that Ornn, actually, to push in that wave rather than opting in for just a simple back here. He will actually be in lane here, but look out in the mid lane here. Shockwave being used. QW, huge amounts of damage on top of that Pantheon. He is going to be, unfortunately, forced to instantly back. Does not have that ultimate available, as we do have, as you said, that Cloud Dragon now spawning in 15 seconds. They really need to make their way towards bot side if they want a chance at getting prio, but Never Lose is already setting up the barrage there. They're already setting up the barriers, and they're saying, you know what, if you want it, come and get it.
And Pantheon, notably, they're really only saved by that timely E, of course, a very fair and balanced ability, which denied all of the shockwave damage and really denied Orianna the kill in the long term, as he was able to continue to walk away, and the QW poke didn't quite clean up that kill because of the denied shockwave damage. We do see, actually, Graves here securing a second Never Lose Dragon. That is going to be a nice and crafty second drag. We do actually see a Fire Soul this game, which is going to be super interesting as well.
Yeah, that is not something that you'd hope for, especially when you do have the Orianna, you do have the Graves. The Swain W will be casted upon Never Lose, but it doesn't look like they're doing any damage here. This tower for sure is almost gone here, and it does look like MF and Swain are making the conscious decision. Sorry, words are hard. Conscious decision.
Words are hard, yes.
Yeah, conscious decision just to give it up rather than actually fight for it. No, they're teasing. They're teasing. Will they actually lose this? Maokai does have the ultimate available. Sivir ultimate is going to be casted here to give them extra movement speed, but they will just use it to force their opponents off of the tower, and that is first tower there.
Sivir ulting those Krugs there in the end, just wanting to go a little bit quicker, but it looks like the engage wasn't quite perfectly in Never Lose's favor, and I think Never Lose was crafty and smart to do that like that.
Nicely timed flash from that Orianna. Oh, the flash forward from the Pantheon! He says, if you can't do it, I will do it, baby! Now it's the Aatrox and the Ornn in a little skirmish here top side. Call to Forge God has yet to be used here. Aatrox does not have his ultimate available. Holy smokes! Leak coming out at the gate saying, you know what, Kim Minju, don't worry, I got this. Call to Forge God will be used here. Pantheon ultimate also going to be used topside. The Pantheon is all over the map here. Aatrox trying to sacrifice it. Scumbag Pantheon tagging with the Q. He's saying, you know what, I use my ultimate. I need something out of this except that kill. You know, the only thing else on that skirmish there. Holy smokes, what an incredible play. There's the instant cast towards top side. You know, they get a lot mid, and then they instantly turn their sights right on top of the top lane. Now, it does look like they want to go for an engage here. Swain E will not connect here, but now Swain really needs to be conscious of his health here. There is no collector just yet from the Graves, so there is no collection that is going to be taking place, but regardless, that is a really, really healthy Graves, and you do not want to be in the way of his shotgun anytime soon.
My God, and what awareness from Pantheon there on that. He said 1, 2, and 1 who. 50 CS down who. He flashes right on in there to secure that kill. A nice 750 gold shutdown, by the way. And then immediately heads topside. Would you see Neverlose here trying to steal this blue buff? But I'm just gonna ignore that for now.
Right.
As wow, the absolute Pantheon is right back in it now, as he was desperately trying to keep himself, just trying to keep his head above water here in the early game, as he was absolutely shoved out of lane by Ori. You still see that massive CS gap. Ori having pretty much twice the CS here as Pantheon in the mid lane matchup. Bot lane has caught up a little bit, but of course still ahead in Neverlose's favor. And we're seeing another gank here.
Yeah, unfortunate stuff here. Aatrox could definitely 2v1 this. He does already have the Gore Drinker proc off. It gave him a sizable amount of health back. Brittle is going to be applied on top of the Ornn. Now it's, on top of the Aatrox rather, but now it's a means of actually getting it off. But no, they definitely don't want to be messing with this Aatrox at all. As you said earlier, it definitely comes down to the CS leads. Ornn won the lane, I guess, so to speak, in terms of getting those ganks, in terms of getting just the immense amount of roams, especially coming out from the mid lane to assist him. But unfortunately, he is still down 13 CS. Top is unfortunately down 80 CS at this point. And it's looking very dire as, even if you do commit so much towards that Sivir, you need to worry about Bidoof. He was in that montage for a reason. He got MVP for a reason. These are not new players by any means, and they are going to be showcasing this in this potential dive here. For sure this is a kill, right? There's no way that this goes wrong.
I think this must be the quick cleanup there of the Ornn, and thank God for topside, because they are finally able to shut that down. Really, the only next on the list there is Nocturne, and something has to be done about this Pantheon, because he is certainly getting ahead. But this top lane has just been, with the exception of this recent play, it's really been an unfortunate top lane for both sides. Just a lot of teasing here, and we've seen a lot of those in the past, where despite being 0-3, Aatrox is still not a force to be 2v1'd. Even in the case that we saw there, where Aatrox was pretty much pushed up to the top lane turret there on Insert Teamname, they still weren't able to 2v1 because it was both sides just afraid to really do anything. You had Neverlose tickle on the Aatrox there, not quite sure if he can pull off the 2v1, so he just chose not to. And then you've got the Ornn and the Nocturne just, again, not necessarily at their full potential yet, so just not wanting to mess with Aatrox either, because they, again, have to respect him. He's Aatrox. He might be 0-3, but he's Aatrox.
Speaking of respect here, the Maokai will be going in deep for these 2 kills here, but the Ornn actually going to be initiating everything. Call the Portrait has been casted, but it will not be recasted here. Now the TP does come in for that Aatrox. This for sure is a dead Pantheon. Double kill going over to Code. Double kill going over to that Sivir there. That is not a position that you really want to be in, or at least want to be, looking down the barrel of at all, because now not only does Neverlose get this infernal soul point, they are also set up perfectly to get the soul. There is nothing that is going to be stopping them, as they are 5k gold. The kills didn't really matter in the early game because there was nothing really to snowball them out to. For sure, Pantheon got the roams towards topside, but aside from those roams, he lost out in lane early, and now we're just feeling the repercussions out of that, especially looking at the immense pressure that this Orianna pick is focusing on.
Absolutely. I mean, and chat called team gap on this, or excuse me, comp gap, not team gap, comp gap. I totally agree. I called that a little bit earlier. I think Neverlose has the safer team for sure. And I think, coming into that team fight, you sort of had both teams on similar footing. But the comp really was in the favor of Neverlose. Of course, they were able to walk into Dragon facing it, different positioning there from the teams as well. And you also, I want to call out a nice little payday for Code as well, who had been 0-2, sort of getting the short end of the stick in terms of gold lately, though his CS lead was pretty big. We'll pause for a second here as the fights are happening.
Yeah, it does look like the Nocturne is unfortunately caught between a rock and a hard place. He will surely go down to that Sivir here. Now they want to get the re-engage on top of the Ornn. There is no collector, so unfortunately that Ornn will not be collected. But Pantheon says, no way, Jose, are we going to let you just kill our teammates like that? Sween doing as much as he can right now, but he will go down here. Bullet time will catch out on 2, but it's not enough. Huge shockwave from Bidoof. I'm too excited to even talk from Bidoof. They just get totally rerouted. They did not see that Orianna come in at all, and that's a clean ace, and Neverlose put their sights right on top of this Baron.
Heading right on over to the Purple Snake. I was not confident in that Pantheon engage, but I gotta say he lived for more than I thought he was going to. But I think unfortunately for Panth in that one, the setup was just not good enough. There was not a lot to go off of there. And you've got Never Lose now. You've got 4-0 Graves to deal with. You've got 5-1 Oriana way ahead on CS, as well as Code on Sivir, way ahead in CS. And Code, finally really on the scoreboard now. Again, I was mentioning earlier that, sort of getting the short end of the stick in terms of kills. He was 0-2 for a while, not doing super hot, but he's got 3. He had the double from earlier. He's 3-2 at this point. It doesn't much matter for him. The gold gap continues to increase, by the way. Never Lose here, almost 10k ahead of Insert Teamname, as the kill difference is, not huge, but it's definitely in Never Lose's favor, and I think they're now starting to look at the snowball potential as we might even see Aatrox come into the game, but currently they don't really need him to be doing anything crazy. He's just bringing himself, and that comboed with the Graves and the Ori Shockwave and the damage that Code is now putting out as well is doing lots of favors for Never Lose.
100% here. We are looking at 2 minutes away from a potential Infernal Soul. Shockwave actually going to be used right on top of the Pantheon. He's looking to re-engage this here. Nocturne is not close at all here. Actually opts in a flash towards the try, towards that MF for safety there, so it will allow him to escape cleanly, but I suppose it's not really that clean when you had to use that flash. That is significant in terms of team fighting as well, if you do need to end up flash Wing on an opponent. So that is a really big up, on top of that already expanding list of ups that Never Lose seem to be riding on in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. The gold gap increasing as well. I do want to take a look at towers quickly too. You've got, no towers taken by Insert Teamname yet. They haven't really been able to touch much of anything. Mid is suffering a little bit, but really that's all Insert Teamname has going for them. But we do have a fight coming up now as well in mid.
Yeah, I guess you could call it a fight. That was about a 1 second fight, if anything, Ornn could re-engage this here with Call of the Forge God. I don't think that they really want to. Aatrox has taken the Blast Cone right over to Call of the Forge God. Will be casted here. Ornn is the target. He will not be able to get that second cast off here. Nocturne Ultimate is going to be used here. Who is the target that is yet to be chosen here? It will be that Aatrox. Aatrox looking to turn this around here. Huge shockwave! Finds 3! Oh my god! W will catch out on a triple there for Bidoof. I told you, guys. I told you, ladies and gentlemen. He was in the montage for a reason. What on earth was that huge monstrous play coming out from Bidoof, coming out from Team Never Lose here? They still have Baron empowered minions here. The death timers are about 20 for the rest of the team, but Pantheon, who was the first target of that onslaught, is up here to answer these mid waves. But with 30 seconds now on this Infernal Soul, you can only stop and stare if you are Insert Teamname here, as your dreams of getting the soul, or at least contesting that dragon in particular, pretty much go to waste. Holy smokes, what an incredible play.
I was not even, honestly, I was not confident in that engage. That was an awkward position to take. They were over the wall. You only had 2 members. You had Aatrox and you had Maokai over there, not able to do much of anything but lock people down. But finally, Insert Teamname said, you know what, we'll group up for you guys. And the Shockwave absolutely decimates, cleans up the rest of the fight. That was a beautifully timed Shockwave there. Honestly, just exactly what Never Lose needed, and really the only thing that they could have done, as we see another team fight here coming up.
Yeah, unfortunate stuff here. That is a 3-man Ornn E there, but it's not going to be enough there. The Shockwave will only find 1, but Swain has already been killed off from that Ornn. The ultimate from the Graves is not enough to delete this Ornn either. With 1 HP, he's left to run here, but he says, you know what, I'm dead anyways, might as well just fight my way out of this one, and you're not able to fight with 1 HP. But there are 5 members of Never Lose who are pushing strong. They look on to the Nexus here. They're looking to end the game here. Majestic going to be thrown back here. They're forced to just sit in their tower, as unfortunately the game just slips out of their hand here. Bullet time is not going to be enough, but it will be proccing off that lifeline for the Graves' shield bow. Oh my god, huge amounts of damage just off of that QW from the Ori.
Absolutely. I'm going to love to see the damage charts this game. We did also see some revenge there for Aatrox finally as well. Does get to grab that kill. He's on the scoreboard at the end of the game. at the end
looks
of the
like
day.
they're just farming kills at this point. Swain will go down yet again. They do trade the Maokai though for him. Now Nocturne has died. That's a double kill for Code. The Ornn does get that kill off of the Sivir. He gets a huge knock up on top of the Graves here. They could look to turn this. Shockwave will find two. Aatrox will delete the MF, but they say enough of this nonsense. Let's just win the game here. Let's go home, ladies and gentlemen. Never lose taken in 27 minutes. What an intense game one.
Never lose. 1-0 so far. Never the name stays true in the first game, and that is a nice little payout as well in the Twitch chat for some of you who went on to predict Never Lose's win there. What an interesting game, especially because Insert Teamname had so much going for them early on. But wow, the CS gap alone was just enough to get the ball rolling, and Never Lose not playing like they were behind, just saying, you know what, we're fine. Let's just take the smart fights, do what we can, take the smart picks that we can get, and they just go ahead and do that.
97% of viewers who did do the predictions predicted Never Lose, so a little bit of a payout for you guys. Unfortunately, for the 3% they look on to make worth their while in the next couple of games that INS will have later on in the tourney. But what an incredible play from INS, just coming out of the gate, showing their worth, especially in that early game. Unfortunately, they didn't really have all the pieces to the puzzle in terms of mid-game, but Never Lose just taking over and shining in, arguably their best position that they could get in that mid-game. They were allowed just to snowball the CS leads and those minor here and there kill leads, and it just blossoms into this full-on onslaught the later as we go on into this game here. Without any further ado, though, we're gonna try to get these interviews off. If you are new to the KDL, we try to get interviews with losers first and then winners. And holy smokes, I think Insert Teamname here is gonna be pretty proud of their early game for the most part. I don't really think that they're gonna be too sad after that.
Absolutely. I mean, it should be reiterated. A fine showing here from Insert Teamname, especially against a powerhouse like Full Build. We weren't so certain going in, really, of what was going to happen at all. But really, definitely a nice showing from Insert Teamname, I think, for sure. Sort of new, and hopefully they, pick themselves up and keep going and just sort of polish what needs to be polished. Certainly some really great stuff from Pantheon there in early going into late game, as well as Nocturne setting up, and Ornn holding his own as well against an Aatrox was definitely not bad. I think what you said there certainly holds true. Just cleaning up that mid game, finding the pieces to that puzzle. And chat is asking for damage charts. If you could hop on over to those as well.
Apologies everyone, sorry about that, guys. These are the damage charts. Just give me
honestly,
second, guys. I'm just trying to fill out that form for your MVP of the game here. It is going to be posted in Twitch chat, so definitely please vote and look out for that as well here. But these are the damage charts. Holy smokes, Ornn.
Yeah. Oh. Honestly, it's not too surprising. I think if this game had gone on quite a bit longer, you would have seen some drastically different looking charts for sure, but nothing surprising there from the Orianna. Code really actually popping off there in the mid game and pumping out some damage as Sivir. And Graves really didn't see too much going on there, about the same as the Maokai. But honestly, this is not surprising, but also not necessary from Graves. Really just doing his job, securing those early dragons. And then Aatrox as well, who really did not care about being 0-3 in the early game. Never Lose, really, the theme of this game for them was, just ignoring that they weren't winning the game. And we did see as well, Tickle just, deciding, I don't want items, but then backing and then TPing into the lane. So that was an interesting start. But, putting yourself into that position and then just winning anyways, hey, more props to you.
It happens.
But I guess we're gonna.
Yeah, we are gonna be
head
moving into the Insert Teamname here. Comes. Just
already.
Give me 1 second. Yeah. Or actually, rather, we're gonna have them come here. Just might be easier.
Who out CS's me by
All right,
far.
hold on. You're not in your team chat anymore. Just give us a second here. Just give us a little bit of a second. We are still the KDL, so it is a little scuffed here. But welcome, Team Insert Teamname here. What an odd name here.
Team Insert Teamname here.
Yeah, it happens.
That's just the KDL casting for you.
Right. Scuffed. We couldn't get the scuffed overlays, so we had to get the scuffed host, I guess. But team insert team name here. How are you guys? How are you guys feeling after that unfortunate loss to Team Never Lose?
I think we know what we did right and what we did wrong, and this is just the first game,
Right.
So I think we have a lot to work with from that game.
Mashallah,
True.
brother.
Yeah, I think we could have played that better. We definitely had an early game lead.
Oh yeah,
You definitely had the top lane
Somewhat
and
of an early game lead.
jungle. Jungle had a huge lead in the beginning,
Right.
but then it kind of just threw.
Kind of fell off.
Yeah.
Right, for sure happens. I want to ask you, Heated Hamburgers, coming into this game, not many people know of your mastery on your Nocturne pick. Were you fully expecting to play your one trick? Sorry, I mean your most played champion here in the KDL today?
Going in, I was definitely hopeful that I'd get the Nocturne, but I wasn't so certain it would come out like this,
All right. I mean, you did do fair amounts of damage, especially in the early game. You did start off the game off with a 3-0 start, but unfortunately you guys are not able to get the cohesion that you guys wanted. I want to ask you guys, because I know that you guys did start off with a starter support and now switching onto Vang. I have talked to you guys behind the scenes about it, but just to inform the KDL viewers here, now going into this game, do you guys feel like you guys were very, very confident in your bot lane, or do you guys feel like there's still stuff that you guys need to work on, that you guys need to mesh between the two of you, Majestic and Vang?
I think we work well together, but I think there's a few things that we kind of fight each other with, and that leads kind of to the downfall of bot lane. So there's just a few things we need to work out.
I feel like if we get the right champs, I feel like we could be really good. But our champs we're only so good on so few, so
right.
When they ban us out, it's really hard.
So now it's a means of expanding your guys' champion pools, essentially.
I think in that game in particular, we should have picked support first rotation. I should have said something for sure, but because then after second rotation, they banned out the Rail All-Star, which is what I've really been spamming lately. So I just kind of went to like the last resort swing.
I want to ask you, Majestic, before the game started, I asked you, how confident are you going into this game? And you seemed at that point kind of nervous. Do you feel a little bit better after now, having experienced your guys' first ever KDL game? Because for a lot of you, I think the only person in here who actually is a KDL veteran is Heated Hamburgers. For a lot of you, this is your guys' first season. So do you think that the level of competition has, far exceeded your expectations? Or do you think now it's just a means of practicing more, kind of getting the mesh on, like getting your synergies up?
Well, we did a lot better than I expected, so that kind of gives a confidence boost going forward.
True.
Nice. All right.
Or it could be the other team is purposely doing bad. I don't know, man. They kind of trolls for the first 15 minutes and then kind of hard stomped us for the rest of the game.
No, Aatrox purposely didn't buy items. All right. Well, thank you guys very much. That is going to conclude our interview with Team Insert Team Name here. What an odd name, but thank you guys so much. All right.
Krim, it's just odd because of the way you're saying it.
It's just me. It's just me.
Thank you for joining us.
It's going to take me a couple games to get used to it, honestly. You were
might
right.
take a little
maybe
bit.
not a couple.
But it's okay.
Yeah,
it's
maybe
fine.
Not a
No,
couple.
it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Now we will
You're
be moving on
great.
to Never Lose, who actually are the victors of today's game. Let's bring them on in here.
Don't say anything bad, guys.
Yo,
Oh,
please. Do I bring in the comms recorder too, or? All right. Well, thank you guys.
I think you might as well, right?
Yeah, honestly. Thank you guys very much. And congratulations to being the first victors of the Season 4 KDL tournament. How are you guys feeling? Do you guys have any doubts?
Nope.
No.
Oh, very confident.
Maybe.
Tickle, I want to ask you, was that on purpose?
Of course. We were talking about how to make the game more fun for the viewers, but in the end, we decided to, play. They would probably want higher level of gameplay over us BMing them. So I hit the back and then burn TP for items. Just how it is sometimes.
And
Right. So the disconnects as well were a part of that, I have to assume.
No, the disconnects were the Ornn threatening their jungler come top or DC. Happened a few times. Eventually, he started camping top.
Oh.
happens.
It happens.
Yeah, no, that checks out, yeah.
Bidoof, I just want to announce that you actually did get the MVP vote with an astounding 86%, and the second runner-up, was Jinsoul. How do you feel about that,
dude,
Bidoof?
nice.
Did you have any doubts?
Nope.
Oh, very humble.
I was the fucking best player in the game. What the fuck?
Yeah, versus the Pantheon who roams for no reason.
Hey, he has to roam. He's not coming back to my lane, dude.
All right, well, I mean, thank you guys very much. Thank you for being so humble. I want to ask you, Code, whose idea was it? Whose idea was it to pick up on this Victorious skin line? Who decided that?
Not me.
Dude, we just, you know.
Wait, who was it?
I don't know. First game of every season, we just do it. I guess.
Someone was like, "Let's do a skin line," and then we spent hours deciding on what skin line, because not everyone has like every skin.
Yeah, we were like one skin off for each line.
We're always like one skin off. So it's either back to you know, what we did last season, or do a free skin line.
Nice, nice. And I want to ask Kaze here. Kaze, why did you change your name here?
I mean, I just thought it would be better for us to have, you know, our Discord name is our in-game names, more professional, I should say.
Okay.
So
His ankles.
So you were kind of fed up being Dewey's ankles, or?
No, I like that name as
ankles
I don't
broken.
know.
Happens. Worry, did you have any questions?
None that I think need to be asked.
Just you know, what was done is done. It was kind of a
What's done
bloodbath
is
there.
done.
Yeah, it was.
It
really
was
big
interesting.
bloodbath.
You know, Krim was a little against you guys in the early game, just
No,
based
I
on what
was
we were
not. No,
seeing.
I was not.
But I have to say, but it's very clear that
no.
Never Lose came back and decided to take that there. So it was a very entertaining game. I'll say that much. So
I'll
we
say this
appreciate
to clear myself. The
your
second I saw the
cooperation.
Victoria skin line, I knew it was a done deal. I knew that one team was
Right.
I knew
Don't watch the
one
VOD.
team
Don't
was
watch
going to
the
be
VOD.
victorious. Yeah, do not watch the VOD. All right, well, thank you guys
trust.
so much, and congratulations on your first win.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Disconnecting people never gets old. All right, well, thank you all for watching our first ever game of the KDL season. Up next, we have Always Botiv versus Full Build. That is going to be a banger of a game at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you have 2 hours from now until then. We're looking forward to having you all onto the next stream. Again, huge shout out to Davier. Sorry, I cannot talk for the life of me today for whatever reason. But we're looking forward to that next game. Thank you all for watching our first ever game of the season. This is our highest viewer count that we have ever hit. So on behalf of me, Stu, Wuri, and everyone else behind the scenes, thank you so much for tuning in, for supporting. Thank you for those of you who did subscribe Prime, gifted subs, those donos. Thank you very much. Don't think that we didn't see it. We saw it, and thank you so much for the followers as well. For those of you that are interested in catching our next games and do not want to just leave it up till, you know, me just posting around in the Discords, if you did see it there, make sure to join our K-pop Discord League Discord server and sign up for our spectator role. Our spectator role typically will get pinged on every single game. Okay, thank you guys so much for now. We'll see you later on in the night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, that is Always Botiv versus Full Build. Everyone, take care. Have a good one. See you till next game.